Hello world, Bob here. You find me today in the woods below High Dam, which is just near the south end of Windermere. And I am wandering my way up towards a little hill called Stock Park Heights, and then I will head across from there to High Dam. I will speak to you shortly. It's a really beautiful piece of woodland, this one. It has a feel of being absolutely ancient about it. Although, as I understand it, actually all of this around here was managed until fairly recently. We are just up the hill from the Stock Park bobbin mill, which some of you may have visited. And they made exactly that, bobbins, sort of things that you wrap thread around. And they were made from coppiced wood. So all of this woodland was managed here, and as you can probably tell from me huffing and puffing, this bit of the walk is uphill and also a trifle rocky. This place also makes me feel a bit old, because we were up here a few weeks ago, my wife and I got to thinking about when the first time I came here was, and realised that it could be measured as about 40 years. 40, not 4, not 14, 40 years, ladies and gentlemen. Feels like a long time ago. Anyway, some of it's changed, some of it hasn't. Just having to climb over some windfall trees here. And I'll show you the bit that's changed in a minute. What it does have, once we get up to the top, is some pretty stunning views. And then High Dam itself, which is now, well, probably always was, but now obviously managed by the national parks. Just a beautiful place. So I'll stop talking and we'll go back to the views. This is a lovely bit of the path here. Never quite sure whether it's actually a path or the top of a wall that just happens to be left over. But probably preferable to the bog, which is all around. Whoops, dodging the trees, not falling over the rocks. Little magical fairy glades. This is a part of the walk, I said, squeezing through the gaps. This is a part of the walk that they haven't spoiled yet. Actually, none of it's really spoiled. It's just, as I say, in 40 years, things change. Glorious day today. It's 10th of October, Thursday, about lunchtime. Beautiful, beautiful. The BBC's weather forecast has a glitch on it today, warning us of hurricane force winds. If that's true, we're in the eye of the storm right now. Beautiful day. This is where I start to get a bit thoughtful about what went before. Back in the day, about here, you can see this road coming up behind me. Stopped about here, and then it turned into a nice little path, and eventually it turned into what felt like an incredibly ancient roadway. I'll show you in a minute. And then some years ago, whoever accesses this decided that instead of the path and the ancient roadway, we needed this. It was one of the most magical places around here. Still quite nice. Missing something though. Yeah, so this was magical up here. Still is, I guess. Just slightly spoiled one of my childhood memories. And but what you do get here, fabulous yew trees. This is what makes the place look like it's been here a billion years. And the walls are growing fir, holly trees. Look at that yew tree there, isn't that fantastic? More over there. Great big oak trees on this side. More holly, more yew. This place feels absolutely ancient. So here we are at the top of Stock Park Heights. There used to be somewhere around here a picnic bench, long time ago now. It was well sought after. Once the kids were big enough, you'd send them running up in advance to chivvy anybody who was on it off, grab it first. Nice place for a picnic. Oh, all right, I'll show you the view. It's not bad. We'll start there. That's looking sort of southish. That's the bottom end of Windermere. You might just be able to see there. Put that finger out of the way, that's Morecambe Bay. Glistening. Phew. Yeah, so that's Fellfoot down there. Coming across that hill on the other side. That's Gummer's How, the bald one. That's a nice walk as well. We come round. Can't really see. I think Bowness is over that way somewhere. I can just see. Maybe if I step sideways. Yeah, I can sort of see Bowness. And then the lake sweeps round, it carries on round there towards Ambleside. Yeah, the fells up in the distance. Enough to make you feel alive again. It might be too windy here for the drone, so you'll have to make do with that. So, the plan now, it's a nice pretty bird feeder back there, isn't it? I'll turn around that way. The plan now is basically go back a bit of the way I came, bottom of that horrible bit of new path, and then across towards High Dam. That's the plan. Sound good? Used to be a path around the back here, but I've never seen where it joins at the bottom end anymore, so I don't feel like wading through the bracken today. I wish there was still a bench here. I have been reading a book called Unmasked by Ellie Middleton. Sorry, Ellie. Read it 10 seconds ago, can't remember it now. Anyway, it's a book about autism and ADHD. Because I'm curious. I came across the concept a couple of years ago with my therapist at the time of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and that model it really fits. It fits a lot of my issues over the years, and it has really helped. It's helped me to get a handle on why I react the way I do to things, why I feel the way I do. Swaps hands. However, still feel there are things missing, and I've often wondered, thought, suspected quite strongly I might be autistic as well. And reading that book has probably solidified those ideas. Now I am 50 something now, and what was interesting in that book actually was about the masking. It was about the way that people learn behaviours, and I've over the years I've done the sort of self-assessment things, or the online questionnaires, are you autistic, and often just come in at the just under the possibly level, and after reading that book, I went and did one again and realised that some of those questions, it says, do you do this? And I thought, no, I can cope with that. And then I realised, well, actually, you are not happy doing it. You're coping with it. You've learned a strategy over the years. So actually, yes, that thing is a problem for you. The fact that you cope with it doesn't mean it isn't a problem. I don't know where I'm going with that. Don't know whether I'm going to take it any further. But a lot of it does explain a lot of me. Explains a lot of my problems I had growing up. Lack of friends, constant butt of the joke, that sort of thing. Explains the sudden interests, and I think maybe the two of them clash. That autism and CPTSD could easily clash, create more problems. So that's today's thought. I guess, what am I saying? I'm saying I am not the finished article yet. I'm not cured. I don't think I ever will be. But I think you can keep investigating, and you can keep that open mind as to what else might be in there. I'm sure there's some metaphor I could come up with about open minds and being able to see into what else is there, but that'd be a bit too corny on a sunny day like today. But one thing that came out of it was she talks about embracing your special interests, those things that autistic people get fascinated by. Well, some do, of course. All people have different experiences. And I was trying to remember if there was anything when I was a little boy that I would get completely lost in. There have been so many things I've done over the years. I take up things and I drop them and I get bored of them. I'm trying to remember what it was. I'm trying to remember if there was anything in particular that I could now embrace. Good book, Ellie, by the way. Perhaps I'll tag you on this and then you'll never see it. Good book. Yeah, enough said for now. Speak to you again in a minute. Well, oh, there's one going across now. Fighter of some sort. They are out playing today. So that down there, that is Tarnhouse. If you can hear me, over there now, over the sound of the aeroplanes. It's actually a little reservoir, supplied water and I think probably power via water wheels to the bobbin mill I was talking about. And we are almost at the top of the hill that goes around the outside of the little lake. And here is a rather pleasant bench to have a sit on. I will show you. It's nice. Oh, it's dragonfly weather today. The air is, can you see that one? Full of dragonflies. Yeah, it's just settled on that bracken leaf over there. Don't know if I can actually see it. Can we see it on there? Maybe, who knows? It's very noisy with aeroplanes out here today. I guess the maybe the crux, the moral, the story of today's video is never stop investigating yourself. I think particularly when you get to an age like me, I grew up in an age when being, shall we say, neurodivergent was not a good thing. It was frowned upon. Certainly wasn't something you wanted to, I'm not saying people want to be it now, but it was something that parents avoided like the plague. And I do have to wonder now if there was a big element of that in my upbringing. It would explain a lot of things. So the moral of today's story is keep asking questions, keep reading books, keep watching videos, and just being open to the idea that people's brains aren't all the same. We don't all fit in one box, and maybe your brain doesn't work the normal way. So I'm going to sign off now, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop taking pictures. I'm just going to stop gabbing. So for today, bob out.